I'll see if I can write some good parodies. Yeah, he was really happy to see us.
I can imagine.
Wasn't.
That was a good exchange, I feel.
Very good to meet you, Dr. Siegfried. My name is Seth.
It's very nice to meet you too, Seth.
You have an interesting accent. Where is it from?
That is a long story for another day.
Ooh.
He's
mysterious.
forgotten.
I like it.
I mean, there's 2 maps.
Well, I'm from Ocean.
Ah!
I live by the ocean. Although I guess I live here now, so I don't live by the ocean.
You live now in the deck.
I live in the sky above the ocean. Possibly.
Yes.
I didn't actually check
We don't know
where
where
we
this is
are.
located, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just going to, like, cry in a corner while you people talk.
Where is
Can he-
the
can he
alchemy
hear?
station?
I thought
There,
it was this bit
I-
with all the sort of ingredient looking stuff up here.
That's a
Lord,
kitchen,
that
yeah.
bird is
It looks more like a
massive.
kitchen.
That's kitchen.
Let's both do alchemy together.
There's an
My dad
alchemy,
is massive
like...
because he is a rock.
There's a specific alchemy section somewhere on this place where you can go. Man, I think I hear our sergeant, commander, lieutenant boy crying tears of joy.
His name is Meteor.
That's very good. That's like, because Meteor's like a rock, but with like a. I should.
You know,
So
Seth,
Nara just looks blank. Meteor is a rock. He is not like a rock.
Well, no, you see, you have rock like CK is in a rock is in hard objects like the Earth rock.
What is he more meaty than?
It's like the songs are writing themselves for me, it's great.
I just thought
Is it-
Meteor sounded like a good name. It has nothing to do with meat or...
I mean,
Oh.
it sounds delicious, but I am a
Or is it the
vegetarian, so...
celestial body?
What is in this room?
Is that a meeting room?
There's a sign above it says briefing room.
Oh.
You know, Seth, I gotta say, I'm thankful, because... Glory, gold, you know, those things are all on the secondary for me. The real reason I came here is to write stories and songs about the great legends. And I feel I've hit the jackpot with this. Either I'm gonna be rich later on by writing the tragedies of whatever is gonna happen, or, you know, the other way, which... less likely, but better in the long run.
Let us both pray for the second option.
Yes, yes, praise the Emperor. Totally do.
Like,
Oh,
it's
God.
like gritting his teeth slightly, like, oh. Yes, very good. Glory to the Emperor.
Now to see, where can I put my Shrine of the Wanderer in our room?
Oh
You
my
could
God.
put it in
I
the...
missed the medical room.
You don't notice yet.
You could put it in
Right.
the other bathroom where
Right.
Useless lives.
we can put a line through the room. This is one side's Wanderer territory, the other side is empty.
If it is visible, he will refuse to stay in the room. Good God. He's going to be a major.
It's worse than a necromancer. It's Dio.
It's the dirty heretic.
You see now why I picked the room with you?
It's going to take a lot of time to adapt to this party. Did my ancestors really go through this?
I mean, is it worth noting that to Luna, you're both heretics.
Yeah. Just keeping quiet about that.
We're all a big group of heretics, it's fine.
To be honest, I don't really care what you guys believe.
I feel
I believe in the ocean.
How have you only just noticed
You're
I
okay.
changed my name to Big Boss Over?
I don't
That was a while
exactly
ago.
look at your icon very much.
I changed
like-
that at the start of the stream when we were
I'm
talking about Owl changing his name.
Yeah, I did notice that. I still don't know how it is with, like, if someone from a different place worships a different entity, then I don't know if that's still classed as heresy in my eyes. I feel
It's
like
only
it's
heresy
people
if
from the
they're
Empire.
spreading their
I mean,
beliefs
I'd
in-
point out that
front
up
of it.
until the year around 5000, the Empire encompassed the entire world.
Oh.
Do you want to restore the Empire to its former glory?
And
I mean,
all of the other nations are factions that broke away from the Empire.
Right. I don't know how he'd feel about someone from a different sort of, like... It's hard to describe whether he'd be extremely bothered by it.
Wait, what was that trait you had again?
Oh,
Or the
if
drawback.
someone with like okay, hang on. I will explain this because I feel like the party should know.
Yeah, the drawback I'll chose is quite interesting
Yes!
for his character.
I have a drawback called headstrong, which means I feel compelled
Come
to take
in.
every action and argument that contradicts my worldview. Whenever someone does something, or I hear an argument that contradicts my alignment, I have to stop it or
Oh,
correct
God.
it. And if I
That
don't,
fucking trait.
I will be
Oh,
shaken
no.
for an hour.
That's gonna be interesting.
He's gonna
Anyone
have...
does shady shit that doesn't match my alignment, I will be...
Or your worldview, so that includes the Emperor religion.
Exactly. So, I can...
Wow,
Oh,
that's
it's so
probably
difficult.
the worst I've ever seen, that drawback.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, he picked it on purpose, just
If
because of
anything,
how light... thinking
This
this
will
is a challenge.
only lead us to not bringing it up at all during
Yeah.
the entire campaign.
So, Luna's gonna ask the sergeant if there's like any possible spare blankets or branches, pillows, or things, because her bird needs to make a nest because it's already trying to destroy the flower pots.
Requisition more. Don't worry, this
Thank
isn't
you.
the only animal familiar. Hell, you could probably put her up in the... Is it a her or a he?
I don't believe I've asked. I'll ask tomorrow.
There is a
It's never
roost
come up.
somewhere in the ship.
I'm just gonna poke my head around the door. Collie, can we, are we free to
was
explore the
door
ship?
open? Why
Are
was
we
the door
free?
open?
Collie!
Hey, Collie,
that it-
what's your first name? Is it Sergeant? Are you Sergeant? Oh my god, you are, aren't you? Man, you must
Can
have
we
got
take
the
this
lead?
on.
Ahi.
No, she's already won this one.
Yeah, no,
I look
she's
at the
gone.
sergeant, look at the door, run after Ahi. Closing the door behind me. How old are you?
So are we free to go look around the ship, Collie?
You will refer to me properly if you want anything.
Sergeant.
I'll take that as a
Sergeant.
yes.
Oh my god.
Hey Seth, come. Let's go look around. I'm sure there's like a church to the Emperor. Hey man, don't you want to see the place you're gonna like pray at?
I suppose that is a good idea, yes.
Well, we can make some friends in the meantime.
I'm sure we will.
Is the door open or locked?
It's open.
Oh, sweet,
Gonna
we can go.
It's not like gonna lock us in here, are they?
with this squad, I don't know, man. I wouldn't blame them.
God, lock it with you. Fucking me.
I don't know, man. Collie seemed fine with it.
The sergeant goes back to his paperwork.
Yeah, he's Collie.
Sergeant Collie. You must prefer to...
Collier!
Collier.
That's Collie.
Shit. God,
It's the nickname we've given him.
Even the nickname's gonna cause a problem. Okay. Collier. Right.
Alright.
God.
After some
Yes.
searching, you do actually find a shrine to the Emperor.
Ah, very good.
Where is this fortress located, by the way? Is this in the Empire?
You're floating above the ocean to the south of the Empire and the main continent.
Oh, sweet. International waters.
Not by the Empire's definition.
Oh yeah, but the Empire, freaking can believe a whole lot.
You do see a lot of people, obviously dressed up in armor, equipment, stuff like that. A lot of new people. As in people like you, new recruits appear to be on the server. You're not seeing many older or what appears to be more seasoned warriors.
Yeah. So Seth, you know why I'm here. What's your reason for signing up for this? Sounds like you had a pretty good back at home as a church boy.
Please do not refer to me as a church boy.
Alright, Seth.
As a small ritual, I suppose, within my family, in which we have to prove ourselves, for us to be truly accepted as one of the long lines of the Svolchmers.
That name.
This could be done through many means, one of which, being the most common option, is obviously to prove yourself in combat. I believe this mercenary detail will more than suffice.
Alright, so after the 2 years you're done, gonna go back home, live a comfy life?
That is the plan, yes? Well, not live the comfy life. I'll lead a long life of servitude as a paladin to a glorious emperor.
Ah, yeah, what do you do back home? You go around the city hunting down heretics and such?
That is the plan.
Are you in the shrine at this point?
Yeah, or just chilling and talking.
There is a laugh as a man steps out from the side. Aye, that was a good plan. By man, of course. It appears to be a dwarf wearing rather ornate plate armor.
Oh, hello, good sir.
You
And
know
what is your
Seth?
name?
Okay, I take that as a no.
What?
Seth does not know him.
No, of course I don't. This
Hey,
is a
man.
random dwarf on a detail. Here. I've just got here.
I mean, you worship the Emperor, he probably worships the Emperor. Isn't there
Do you know how many
Tharum
people worship
Warmmantle
the
at your service. Paladin of the Emperor.
Ah, good to meet you, sir.
I maintain the shrine here.
Very good.
It's good to meet
Right
another.
across the corridor is the Shrine to the Wanderer.
They're not very
Looking
tactful
to
on this
fancy.
ship. Yes, it is good to have a fellow aboard the ship, or at least another one. There are quite a few, obviously.
Yes.
Yes.
Have you
Oh,
two
that's-
just joined? I don't recognize
be-
either of you.
That'll be correct. We are a part of the,
Yeah,
new
we're with Collie.
Sergeant Collier.
Ah! Ha, you call him that too.
Yeah, it just rolls off the tongue, man.
Oh no.
Don't
So
worry.
sorry for this poor
You're in
sergeant.
good hands with him. He's gruff, but he knows what he's doing.
Yes, he said he had served here for 5 years, I hear.
Yes.
Yeah.
Not as long as me, of course, but
Ah,
a long
How
time.
long
How
have
long
you
have been
been-
stuck here?
yeah.
Oh, must be going on 85 years now.
Man, you look great for the age.
Ha! Well, there's advantages to completing a trial.
I see.
Ah, you've been to the Lost Continents. Had a good time?
Yes, just the port, but I plan to go for my second trial eventually. It's quite humbling to walk the path the Emperor once walked.
Oh, I dream of it one day myself.
But yes, I remember. I used to think I'll have 2 years and then I'll be back to serve. I found my own way to serve here. Maybe you'll find another way to serve as well. Or maybe your path is true.
Perhaps. Ultimately, I just wanted to prove myself for my family.
Well, regardless, you're among brothers here.
Very welcoming to hear.
Yes, Seth, we're like brothers, which means that after these 2 years, and we're done, I'll come by and visit, and maybe stay for a few nights. It's gonna be good
Perhaps
fun.
my perception of you will change in those 2 years.
From good to even better?
You could say that, yeah.
You, lad, you remind me of someone I used to serve with.
You dead now?
He's very dead.
Ah, yeah. I hear that a lot.
Don't worry, sir, I'll fix him up.
Ah,
That's what Zephyr is for.
good luck, but learn to use him. He'll have talents. The way he is. Don't kill them off trying to make him into someone like us. Not all can walk the holy path,
I suppose you're right.
and we certainly couldn't walk his.
Absolutely not.
Well, I
Maybe
hope-
after a few drinks you can give it a shot.
You can't outdrink a dwarf, lad.
Yeah, probably not.
Anyway, hope to see you two around.
Yes, I hope to see you around more often myself. Quite welcoming to hear someone that's sort of like-minded. I thought I should.
Come on, Seth, let's go.
fumbling.
Let's go.
Okay. It was good to see you, sir.
Likewise.
Ugh.
This is where I point out Lunaria can detect outsiders.
Interesting.
By the way, can we take a small break? I really want to get a drink as well.
You can just go get a drink.
Yeah, not on
Alright,
your
I'll
part.
get a drink then.
Also,
Yeah, that's
imagine how
exactly
my
what I
voice
did.
is feeling, but it's a
Oh,
bit late
right.
to be doing a break. I'd rather
That's
push
fair.
through the last half hour of it.
I'll just get a drink then.
So-
I'll be back.
I think
Yes.
we can talk now.
Yes, you can.
Oh.
Their part's over. You can talk.
Let's switch to the quarters.
Yeah. Oh, I'm an Undyne, and yeah, look what I can do. She sticks her head into the bathtub and just starts breathing water instead.
And
Neat,
then,
right?
then proceeds
no.
to drown. And
Puppet, do you have Huddle Animal?
Oh god, nope.
Okay.
I would like to take this moment to remind everyone that he's a damp here and therefore is quite unnatural.
Gross.
Also,
What's
he's got
your
a beak.
AC?
Oh gosh.
Got a beak. It's like he's mocking her.
It's okay, I can't roll for shit today.
You really can't.
I'm gonna roll a 3 on the luck
Hey.
check.
An AC of 15.
Bird tries to bite you. It doesn't hit.
Meteor bite.
I did it earlier and it was much nicer then.
It calls at you. Birds don't typically like being pet.
That's
But
a
I petted
lie.
earlier.
Wild birds don't like getting pet.
Most birds don't like it, really.
I've seen lots of birds who love getting scratched and pet. It is a strong, independent cat bird, I see.
Who don't need no man, but still wants one.
There is a knock on the quarters doors. I have a requisition for bedding? Jesus, what's already happened in here?
Well, if he looks down the corridor, he'll see Luna apparently drowning. Ahi.
You see a
Luna
table.
is just kind of raising an eyebrow at you. Like, huh. That's an interesting talent.
Right?
And you can switch back easily?
Yeah. I mean, I can just go in and out. It's pretty easy. I'm
So you're
amphibious.
amphibious, yes?
Yes.
Interesting.
And I'm learning to control water.
I can create it. I don't think I can control it yet.
Yeah. My coven is pretty watery themed, so
Can you also create it?
yeah, I think so. Just a sec. She uses create water, and just like
You
in the
created
middle of the bathroom, just drops it on the floor.
You know, we're meant
Yep.
to keep
See?
this place tidy.
It's water. Water's clean.
Water destroys things after a little while.
I mean, yeah, but it all falls into water, so I'll be fine.
What I'm saying is that you're going to need to clean this.
It's fine. I'll prestidigitate it.
There is. Wait, is Josiah back?
Yeah, we're back. Alright,
There is a buzz as the sergeant's voice rings through whatever magical intercom system they've got going. Alright, standard briefing time. Meet me in the briefing room, everyone.
Bet that's the one marked briefing room.
Probably. Oh, by the way, Meteor probably flew at the guy who came in with more bedding and started stealing all the bedding he brought in.
The man is now part of the nest. He has accepted his life.
The nest is being built here.
Oh, sweet, we got ourselves a Terry.
Deary.
Alright. Wait, is TGO there? Puppet!
I think he shriveled up and...
Move your
Well,
character.
Oh.
Oh, come on, Seth. Freaking
Alright,
can't have this.
I have a few things to tell you about the organization and a few announcements to
Safety
make.
briefing.
He looks nervously at the rock next to him.
I would advise not trying to pet it.
Pet it. Pet it.
Yeah, but the sergeant's also like not that weak. He's not scared of a rock. He's just like
Useless. Get him.
confused. He's not scared of a beaver.
Show him fear.
Right. So, first announcement. Private Seth,
Yes. Oh.
I have been given approval for what we talked about earlier. You are now Lance Corporal Seth.
Ah, good job, man. Already going up in the world.
On a probation basis.
He is going to attempt to start a round of applause.
Thank you, sir.
Very
Yeah, not
good.
voting in.
Oh.
And I have also got approval for the position of Quartermaster to be handed to... I'm sorry, I've already forgotten how to say it correctly. Private,
Anua.
Anua. I'll get it eventually.
You guys suck.
So,
Sergeant, what's Thunderflank's role?
squad member.
Who's Thunderfly? How do you know my middle name?
You said it like once, and that was the easiest part to remember.
I
for
have
me.
never said my middle name to you.
Wasn't it fully like read out?
No, I specifically said skip the middle names.
Right.
Oh my.
So, I want you to understand the hierarchy of this organization so that you don't accidentally piss off the wrong people.
We had a good talk with a church guy. Is he important?
Is that the immortal dwarf?
Yeah.
I'll tell you what rank he is when we get to it. Right.
He also calls you Kali.
I thought he was an immoral dwarf.
Right.
Nah, his morals were pretty good.
So, first off, you are technically... The rank in front of your name is a mark of recognition. It doesn't automatically grant superiority. It only grants superiority within the chain of command you're in, which is different. So obviously, Lance Corporal here cannot order a private from another squad. Different chain of command. You are in a starter squad. This means you sit at the bottom. And unless you do exceptionally, you will stay there until the end of your 2-year period. If you pull it off and get promoted earlier, congratulations. I think like 3 people in the history of the company have done that. We don't like talking about them. So, other than us, every squad is arranged into a suit and a card. Yes, I know, it's the motif.
Oh yes, because of
What
the
is a
smuggling ship.
motif?
Well, not smuggling ship, but gambling
Like
ship.
the symbolism we use.
It's a generalized theme based on a singular analogous name. So they're a loaded deck, so we're organised into suits
He looks at you
and
like,
cards
"What?"
within a deck.
Eh,
Ah,
That was
Exactly.
surprisingly bright.
I'd always thought of an actual deck, like the one we arrived on.
Ah,
Oh, it's
I
the
like
deck
it.
is in cards.
this guy's
I
got
believe.
jokes. I like it.
The way it
How's
works. The suit labeled hearts are the frontline fighters. They're the combat squads. They get deployed into the toughest environments and they beat everything up. The diamonds are the magic specialists. They deal with arcane problems. And are responsible for basically all of our magic operations and day-to-day functioning as well. The clubs are the hunters, the specialists in tracking down the beasts that escaped from the lost continent. And dealing with other unnatural mishaps. And finally, the spades are stealth and spec ops teams.
I have a question.
Yes,
I'm
private.
missing 2 cards.
No, we're not.
Yes, you are.
Really? What are those?
The Jokers.
Those do not count in a standard deck.
Thank
Wildcard,
you.
baby! I can't sleep.
Thank.
Roll a will save.
Thank
I don't
you,
do that.
Lance Corporal. So, the higher your number in the suit, the more important your squad is.
Is
So,
it nice 1 or 11?
I will get to that.
Well-
Lowest grade squad outside of us are the 2s and up. Anything from 2 up to 7 is a standard squad ranked in order of seniority. Ranks 8 to 10 are reserved for immortal squads. Those who have completed any number of trials. The Jack squad is technically a command squad, but rarely seen as that. Led by the 3rd in command of a suit. Queen is the 2nd in command squad. King is the command squad. Ace is the most powerful unit in the suit, but is not deployed as a leadership unit. To be considered an ace, you would have to be capable of fighting on par with a Grand Judge.
And that would be difficult, right?
Lance Corporal, do you want to describe how terrifying a Grand Judge is?
Quite terrifying.
Ah, so quite difficult. Gotcha.
You wouldn't dream of facing one.
I might have a nightmare of facing one.
And you
As
should.
possible.
A Grand Judge is capable of wielding enough military force to destroy a city-state.
Hot dog.
Logan's gonna lean over to Fry. Think of it like Collie without makeup.
Collie wears
Yeah.
makeup.
I do not.
Oh, Collie.
It's war paint.
Please. He's not a jewel. Or maybe
He's a diamond in the rough.
Sergeant
Yes.
Collier is... You wouldn't call him cute, you'd call him rugged, if anything. You also probably
That's
wouldn't
what
call
I
him
meant by
attractive.
He's cute in a bear lost on a mountain kind of way.
I guess that's a kind of rugged.
The aces are the only ranks not to have squads. They're just the best. Yeah, and when shit hits the absolute
Ahi
fan...
raises her hand.
Yes.
Who are the aces? As in their names.
That is so not important.
I mean, it sounds like they're commanding officers, like, way up the line.
Aces are not your commanding officers under any circumstances. Do not listen to, obey the order of, or interfere with an ace. Are we clear?
What
What
if they
if
tell
I
him to
wanted
do
to
something like
become
get
an
out of the
ace?
way?
Ooh, that's a good point.
Unless you've
What
been
if by
ordered to
not
get there,
obeying them,
I recommend...
interfere with them?
I'd say use your common sense, but I'm beginning to doubt that would be a useful statement.
You're so rude, Collie. Who
I-
hurt you? Who hurt you?
Imagining a spark in his eye.
In the course of his service, he has seen his brother torn apart, multiple squad
Oh,
mates
we've all
die.
had brothers torn apart.
He told you what hurt him.
I haven't.
Right. But an ace stands outside the chain of command. They are not the king. They do not command the suit. Because there is no such thing as a 1 in a deck, and because you will sit outside of it, do not be confused if higher ranks refer to you as 1s.
How does one become an ace?
By being strong enough to fight a Grand Judge.
Alright.
How do you assess that? Because I assume you don't go around fighting grand judges.
Not as a matter of course, no. Typically speaking, it would mean someone who has at least completed 4 trials.
He raises her hand. So are there 4 aces currently, or are there open slots?
Excellent question. I don't know. I believe there is an open slot, but I am too low ranked to know the command structure in full.
Where do you stand in all this again?
Until this detail, I was part of the 4 of Hearts. Upon successful
should've been taking
completion
notes.
of your 2 years, I will be promoted into the squad 6 of Hearts.
And right now we are a...
Trainee squad.
Yeah.
So, most of our missions will be deployed with an actual squad. You're there to learn and to gain some experience, not to complete all the missions automatically yourself. Death rates are high, but we try to keep you lot alive. Okay, I'm fairly certain a mission should have come through by now, or at least a preliminary, so I'm just not certain what's going on.
Should we go to command and see what's up ourselves?
Give me a minute, I'll send a message.
Tell them Collie sent us.
Perhaps it's because we are missing a member. They're probably
Potentially.
waiting for an assignment.
An excellent point. Either way, I'm sure we'll get orders for too long. Until then, you are free to live here as freely as you want. You have full access to everything on this floor, which is the public area. And don't get into trouble.
I'll try.
It is at about this point there is heavy clanking as a heavily armoured figure, obviously the source of the clanking, walks into the room.
Ah, construct.
Can't sleep on him.
I use my detect other types of thing ability. Is he undead, fey, outsider, astral, ethereal, or incorporeal?
No.
Okay.
I mean, he is incorporeal because he is a corporal.
He does, however, have a mark on his outfit, which appears to be a heart
Yeah.
with
I'll wave
the
it.
letter Q next to it.
Oh. Should I get up and salute?
The sergeant also does so.
Yeah.
They
I'm
never
okay
really
getting up
taught
and
us to
saluting.
salute.
It's an optional thing, to be honest. They're a mercenary band about us.
Oh, that's true.
They have their rigid structure, but they're a bit freeform in how it works. As long as you show respect where it is due.
I said hello.
Sergeant, we have an emergency. Sir? Yes, Sergeant. Your squad is to prepare to deploy immediately into a rescue operation.
Oh.
Sir, what could be so important that a member of the Queen of Hearts has to come down here personally to tell us? The figure pauses for a moment and goes, I'm afraid we can't tell you any more details until you gather in the hangar. The High Commander herself is ordering this. And the figure then proceeds to leave. Squad, get everything ready for combat, whatever you need. Get down to the hangar as soon as possible.
How peculiar.
Okay, he's going to pull on her combat goggles. They're diving goggles. She has diving goggles. For no good reason.
Are you ready, deal?
Order Useless to wrap himself around her shoulders. So he will now take up the same space as her.
Yeah, it must
For
be pretty
convenience
serious
sake.
if they're summoning on us.
Yes, I find it quite strange that a brand
Oh!
new squad would be summoned for such serious
Go, go,
mission.
go!
I forgot to say one thing in that briefing.
Too late, I'm gone.
The tight rank of High Commander is granted to the person who leads all 4 suits. So
Good.
show
Lady Joker?
respect.
Are they the Joker or the dealer?
They
dealer.
aren't anything. They're the High Commander. Dealer would be the most appropriate.
Because there are 2 Jokers in the deck.
I'll be one of them.
So they're the master of the game.
Yes.
Yeah, the
Quick
dealer.
to catch your eye.
And the game is the entire mercenary band.
This isn't a game, Collie!
Damn it, Collie.
You are all immediately
So
back
disrespectful.
to a hangar where a smaller transport is awaiting its magical engines, whatever you want to call them, are warming up and glowing.
Magitech engines.
I didn't want to call it that, but yes.
It's too late now.
What's the commander doing?
Just pacing up and down quite impatiently.
I'm going to get into rank.
Into line,
As,
private.
yeah, that's what I mean.
The sergeant shouts,
Stand to
attention! That means salute or
Attention.
bow or whatever.
No,
Saluting.
it doesn't. It means standing to attention.
Yes.
So I'll stand to attention.
I never said he's still a mercenary. He's not quite the soldier he thinks he is.
Right.
The High Commander walks down the steps, much to the sudden shock of the guards. And says from the sergeant, alright, ladies and gentlemen, this is a bit unorthodox for your first mission, but I love to say this. We have just got the motherload of contracts.
Is that a good or bad thing?
That's a
Raise
good
your hand
thing.
if you're going
Deal.
to ask a question.
A royal transport destined for the Emperor's palace with full security clearance suffered a major systems malfunction and crashed kilometers short of its destination. Tens of hundreds of.
I'm going to raise my hand.
Goodness.
What's a kilometre?
Oh my god.
She
That's in
ignores.
miles.
I know stuff in nautical miles and fathoms.
So, there are no Imperial forces nearby that can divert. So an emergency contract has been raised by the Imperial family itself.
I hear good things about that.
All we have to do is get there, assess the situation, and secure the area. Given this was a malfunction, this is probably one of the easiest paydays we could ever hope for. And it just so happens we have a bunch of new squads who we can deploy at a moment's notice. Which is good, because the older squads will have been there already since they sent them out ahead.
Hooray!
So you are all to support and rescue whatever is so precious to the Emperor that his own, like the Imperial family seal was required for this.
Oh my goodness.
I have a question. Seeing how this station used to be from the Empire, if we deem what we find there to be of such great value that it may be in our interest to keep it for the organization, should we?
Our mission brief and our contract states that we are to secure the area and make sure nothing leaves that ship
Alright.
alive. Unless it's the crew.
No one leaves alive, okay.
Kill them all.
You are correct in stating that our contract doesn't explicitly forbid us from raiding it. I like how you think. However, we are not in the business of pissing off the Emperor himself. The Empire lets its guard down. That's just the nature of the game. Same with any other nation. We've done worse serving the Empire on their contracts. They know what it means. We are not in the nature of pissing off gods.
That's fair.
Sergeant, if they do anything stupid, you are to bring them in line and you are responsible. Yes, yes, High Commander. And given the sensitive nature of this, and given this is your first mission and quite rushed, without a proper briefing, any questions before I send you off?
looks at Ahi.
He controls herself. Just clearly she wants to raise her hand.
What will we be rewarded for this?
A true mercenary. Let's just say a high priority contract like this comes with a pretty nice bonus for whichever squads are involved.
Right.
She said nice bonus.
Seeing how this is a competition,
Can I point out that this High Commander is probably at least a 3-trial immortal?
Oh.
That is something you
But is she
shouldn't say.
attractive?
Oh yeah.
Yes, this is important.
Yes, this is true. She is.
Hold on, let's appraise. Wow, okay.
Fucking
You
shit.
Man,
can't even
you have
comprehend
no
how
taste.
attractive she is. That's how
I
bad
mean-
that roll was. You, on the other hand, can fully appreciate how attractive that is.
Yeah. Girl. I probably don't say girl to the High Commander. Probably.
When you're higher ranked, give it a go.
Yes.
She's not
Alright, in that
particularly
case,
Godspeed you all, and go make us a lot of money.
No, are we not done yet?
Oh.
Yeah, we're done. Let's go, Collie.
Ship.
You all board the dropship. You will notice written on the side it actually has a Collier 1. Except it's been crossed out by someone with paint and it's
Yes!
Collier.
I was gonna do it myself otherwise. That ain't right.
I see your squad mates, your previous squads have been very, similar.
Boys will be boys, and girls will be girls, and they both take the piss out of me.
What about the non-binary fellows?
Those exist?
Gender is a spectrum.
I mean, it probably hasn't come up
Oh,
too often.
jeez.
That's blue people for you, Seth.
Excuse.
Now, Luna, don't. It
Let's
is
not
kind of a blue
confuse
thing.
us with culture
we
and
seem to be
politics.
the only ones
We
who
are
can.
on a mission.
I would like to call it there. Before we get any further.
Ending it on that's blue people for you, Seth. That's great.
Oh, the blue people.
One final action. I wait until we're in the air and then cast sleep on the pilot. Hooray!
Ah!
Die.
Everyone
And
dies.
we're all dead.
Oh god.
I
This
am.
is gonna be an
Time to
interesting
reroll.
campaign.
It is. The party dynamic is already making me despair.
Yeah.
Which means it's good.
So
And that's not even here yet.
Do I want to be an evangelist?
sure.
As in the prestige
So-
class?
Yeah.
It's good.
You can take favorite prestige class and prestige spellcaster to even keep your spellcasting level up.
Yeah,
Okay,
because if I take a line class witch, I still get
Right.
my
We can talk about
witch
this
levels to it.
after we're done wrapping up.
Nah,
Spell.
the entire stream has to hear
Okay, fine.
me going on
Yeah.
about evangelist. Yeah.
So thank you everyone for playing and already making things entertaining for me.
I think we actually
Talk
had a
about
pretty
the
big
blue
audience
people.
today. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
thank you
Like
everyone
6
for
people.
watching. There's something up to 10 and 8. It's been fluctuating between for me.
Oh no.
So
we hope we have piqued your interest with this new campaign. We will be back next week without him.
no, we
With that.
won't,
We want
And with
fuck.
a new Teespring.
because
lies.
one thing I have come to realize is that's the weekend of my cousin's 30th,
Existence.
and I will be in
Your
Manchester
cousin will
that
be
Friday.
30 every year.
Alright, so we won't be back this week. We'll be back in 2 weeks. But Ed won't be
Right.
there again.
Oh my
And-
Oh,
god.
God.
Hen will be there. So
I
It's on a
guess it
mission,
won't
it's
be
a long one.
too bad if he just comes in after the prologue entirely.
Don't worry, there is a very easy fit for him actually in the third session. In fact, it actually works out better.
The interesting thing is, the next session we do is when I'm back in Australia,
Oh,
and it's
gosh.
like barely after I've gotten back in Australia, and our session's gonna be really early in the morning for me.
Good
Okay,
luck.
it's 25 seconds.
That's gonna be a
until-
fun adjustment.
so we can
Like,
instantly
Play
fuck up your
upright.
sleep schedule.
Yes.
Dude, I'm going to be so screwed.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yes, God, look at the Owl fans. I don't know how you pull such people. Like, let's be fair,
Trust
Owl is
me.
responsible for probably over half our viewers.
Trust me, I don't know where they come from.
Hey,
Actually, I
I
do
fucking
know where
Snow.
they come from, and it makes me furious.
Because
Hey,
I
you
know,
know-
Snow and Albie and Brody.
the only reason I'm watching my own stream is for Owl.
Come on, Turtlenut, give me some love.
I actually, Turtle messaged me that he managed to watch the entire stream, which is the first
Thank
one he's
you,
watched all the way
Turtle.
through.
You
Well,
are
I'm quite proud of
amazing. Actually, everyone who watched the entire thing is amazing. How you put up with us is...
Do we count? We
Astonishing.
we
Well,
count as
all
watching
but
it?
one of you.
But yes, after
You know
a
who
week's
you are.
break, we'll be back. We will be doing this
Yeah,
weekly. Jazai is alright, but that's about as much as I'd given.
He's pretty. Yeah, I'll take a pretty good.
Pretty
I
good.
will introduce Scully. Cool.
That's a
I
positive.
look
Bye,
forward
Bye.
to actually seeing you all in combat, which will
I
start
feel like
from
that's
next
a lie.
session.
And
Things
that's
to
our
note.
level 3 session, right?
Yes, and then session 3. Oh boy, session 3 is going to be fun. It is important, however, that certain characters make it for either 2 or 3.
Okay, Collie may die, guys. We gotta
Ah.
protect Collie.
What is
Such a
Collie's
character
first
saying
name?
who?
It's Sergeant. Come on.
It is Sergeant, so he's Sergeant Collier.
I haven't
Oh my
given him a
gosh.
first name, I have to admit, because I never thought anyone would try and call him by his first name.
Please call him.
Did you expect
Sergeant.
Collie?
Yeah, really.
No, I didn't expect
Or
Collie.
just Surge.
But
Very
after
good
Collie.
Oshen
Natural
Ocean, I'm fairly certain I should have expected it. So yes,
It's a good thing.
thank you all for watching. I will upload all of this to YouTube. I'll do some editing this week and probably try and release them in 3 chunks.